having technical difficulties today with Judy Hahn, who is a functional medicine coach. And I will let Judy introduce herself for a moment. Judy, could you tell everybody a little bit about you?
Sure. I am a functional medicine health practitioner and a national board certified health and wellness coach. And now that everybody's kind of looking at, okay, deer in headlights, what's functional medicine? I work with high achieving men and women who may have digestive issues or high stress, not sleeping through the night, to help them find the root cause of those symptoms and help them be more productive and successful so that they can concentrate 100% on their business, their life, their dreams, and their goals without their health holding them back.
I love that. I think that that is so important. And of course, you know that I work with similar folks, and it makes such a difference. I saw a great meme today that said, our past perspective on being successful, and it showed a pie graph where it was 100% hard work, and then it showed below our current perspective on what success really is, and it had healthy eating, and it had plenty of
Oh, wow.
sleep, and it had self-care, and then it had, a third of it was hard work. And so I love that people's perspectives are starting to change to realize how important it is to take care of themselves in addition to working hard on their businesses.
Oh, please send me that meme.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So we were going to talk today a little bit about some root causes of health issues, and
Sure.
and I know one of the things that people underestimate the importance of our gut health issues. Tell me a little bit about, so what you see for root causes and what you think are some of the real issues today in our health.
Well, it's funny. My tagline is it takes guts to be healthy.
That's great.
And it is for many reasons. And one of them happens to be that gut health it's really where the majority of health comes from. Hippocrates said it however many years ago that was, and he was very right. What I find today is that people have issues of, like I was saying, digestive issues where they have gas and bloating, or they have constipation, diarrhea. Um, they have things that they have seen in themselves and have just established as their normal. And so they don't necessarily see those things as being symptoms of a bigger issue. And that bigger issue is, in fact, inflammation in our body. And I think that inflammation is very interesting because we're used to inflammation, right? It's our natural defense system. You cut yourself, you see the little red around your wound, you see it getting inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
And your little white blood cells are out there and some other specialized ones that are all mobilized to protect you. And so what I find is that people don't understand that there's another kind of inflammation. And the reason I focus a lot on inflammation is because the majority of the chronic degenerative diseases that we have today, I would say probably in the vicinity of 90% of them, really start from chronic inflammation. And when I talked about gas and bloating and things like that, your body tries to protect itself, but when the immune system shifts out of balance, then inflammation runs rampant and causes kind of a low-grade simmering fire inside your body that contributes to disease and weight gain. And so people aren't looking at it. We've come to ignore our bodies. I think that's really the bottom line instead of paying attention to them. and that inflammation is a sign that something is very wrong. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and I talk a lot with folks about how um, stress causes inflammation in their body and how they
yep.
can't really heal from that, and the difference that that makes. So what do you recommend for folks as sort of a baseline, if you will, for reducing inflammation in their body?
Boy, it's such a complicated subject, and I don't want to, we could talk for days on it, but
Sure.
people need to understand that inflammation may be caused by the sugar that they're eating, the wrong kinds of oils and fats that they're eating. The stress for sure is a huge one, but one that they don't even think about is, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight. So they go to the gym and they really, really pound on exercise and things like that without realizing that in itself creates a stress in the body that again causes the inflammation. So I focus very much on balancing body, mind, and spirit. And I will look at how a person eats. We want to reduce we call it an anti-inflammatory diet. So we want to start removing things that cause inflammation in the body. We may want to do something like a food sensitivity test because I'm not talking about an allergy where you eat something and your body blows up and you end up in the hospital. I'm just talking about that we really have sensitivities to food, and that creates an immune response. You just popped in.
Hi.
That creates an immune response. So we look at anti-inflammatory diet. We look at stress management because I want to work on breathing and meditation with people. I want to look at, are there any hidden infections? And then there are certain things that we can do. Just the average person can start looking at different things they're eating, become aware of, oh, are my pants too tight after I eat that? Maybe that's trying to tell me something, right? So otherwise, somebody has to really work with a health practitioner, whether it's a health coach or a functional medicine person. But sleep, hydrating, anti-inflammatory diet, all of those things, you may not realize it. The average person doesn't realize it, but all of those things together create a perfect storm of inflammation in the body.
It's true. Now, I travel a ton, and I know that for a couple of days after I travel, no matter how clean I eat, no matter how well I hydrate, no matter how well I sleep, I still have this bloat in my body. My fingers are
Oh,
puffy, my feet are swollen. So, I know that, and it goes away. But so let's talk about an anti-inflammatory diet, right? So
okay.
there are some common inflammatory foods that I recommend people. Well, they don't have to eliminate unless they've got specific stuff, but look at reducing and see what the impact is on their body. So I
Well,
will tell me what you typically talk about as your top inflammatory foods.
I the gold standard, I mean, you can do a lot of food sensitivity testing, but the gold standard for finding out whether someone has a problem or is sensitive to food is eliminating it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do gluten sensitivity testing from now until like 3 years from now, and it may not show up on a test, but it has been pretty well proven that most of us have some sort of sensitivity to gluten. And so one of the things I will ask people is, for 2 weeks, let's just see what it is. It's a process. It's baby steps. Let's try this. Let's see if
Right.
it works. Let's see how you feel. So gluten is one. The majority of people, whether they want to believe it or not, are also lactose intolerant. And
Right.
so dairy is another huge thing. But don't do everything all at once, right? First of all, you'll go crazy because you'll hate me, right? Oh, don't eat this, don't eat this. And I'm going to tell you the one that's going to be, everybody's going to go, oh, yeah, right, I'm going to do that. It's sugar.
It is. It
Okay.
is. It's
Sugar,
everywhere. It's insidious.
it is. And the problem with sugar, first of all, it changes the pH in your body, which is bad. It creates inflammation in your body, which is bad. But I personally can share that it is a mood altering drug.
Yep.
And so, beyond just the inflammation, it creates anxiety, depression, things people would never associate with it.
Right.
I
No, it
lived
changes
it.
your brain chemistry. It's
Yeah,
a mess. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
lived it. Absolutely. Right. Right. I lived it. So
Yeah.
I am a recovering sugar addict.
Well,
So
congratulations.
thank you. Not an easy task.
No, it's
But
tough. It's everywhere. It's in everything. It's in my mustard. It's in my ketchup. It's just
oh yeah, the ketchup.
everywhere. Yeah.
The other thing to really start educating yourself about is the kind of oils that you use.
Right.
Because we are not well educated on that. And I won't go into all the ones you shouldn't use because the list is way too long. But if you concentrate on avocado oil,
Hmm.
MCT oil, which is medium
Hmm.
chain triglyceride, it comes from coconut oil. I'm not a good solid coconut oil person because my mom used something called Crisco when I was a kid. And so I have trouble
It looks
looking
just
at
like it,
it
right?
looks just like it, right? But I use MCT oil, a extra virgin olive oil, but be aware
Mhm.
that that's heat sensitive. So if you're going to be cooking, you want to use the avocado or the coconut oil. Okay. So if you just make those little changes when you go to cook or when you go to make a salad, those things can be huge. I mean, all those little things, those baby steps add up to one quantum leap in your health.
I love that. And that's a message that I try to give to people all the time, that it's not an all or nothing proposition, that if you just make 1% improvement consistently, that
Hmm.
it will add up to a big change, and you'll be amazed at how much better you feel. Well, that's great. So let's wrap up with two things. If
Okay.
you could summarize for our folks, if they were just going to take a couple of baby steps today, what would be the first one or two baby steps that you would want them to take? And tell everybody how they can get more information about the work that you do.
Okay. Baby steps. I think that just for grins, take 3 days and write everything down that passes through your mouth into your, okay? Drink, food, whatever it happens to be, just to begin to have an awareness. Okay? That's the first step. And then pick something. Pick one thing. Pick the gluten, pick the sugar, pick whatever you think you can do for 2 to 4 weeks. And really, really eliminate it from your diet and keep a journal. And it doesn't have to be, oh my God, you spend there hours doing it. Just
Right.
keep a note. You know what? I think I slept better. I think I had less aches and pains. Oh my gosh, I didn't have bloat after I ate that. So really awareness is going to be your first step
Yep.
to any change, no matter what. And then just pick something and do one little thing at a time.
That's great. I
Um,
love it.
as far as getting in touch with me, hanholistichealth.com is my website. I would love your audience to join my Facebook group, which
Hmm.
is It Takes Guts to Be Healthy, I'm creating a health community. I want people to be educated. Um, and then I can be reached by phone as well, 414-736-8899. I do just a chat with people to kind of see
Hmm.
where they are and what I can do to help or be of service. If I can, if I can't, if I need to refer them out, whatever it is. But I more than anybody know it takes guts to be healthy.
It
It's
does.
and having somebody with you like Dawn or myself, that's huge. That's the way that you can actually accomplish your health goals.
For sure. I mean, nobody who's successful goes it alone, right? Everybody has a coach.
Yeah,
And
when you
I
think
think
about
it's
it, I
important.
mean, does Serena Williams not have several coaches,
Oh my
right?
goodness, right? I mean, anybody who's successful, whether it's an athlete or whether it's a CEO or even just a business person, basic business person, people have business coaches and they
Oh,
think
right.
nothing of it, but yet somehow when we talk about health coaches, it seems like a luxury, or it seems like, oh, I'll just do it myself. So I'm glad you said that. It is important to get the support and the help that you need to be healthy. And I promise I'll put all of your links in the comments down below for
Oh,
everybody so they
thank you.
can
I
see them.
appreciate it.
And
And
I
thank
really
you so
enjoyed
much for
chatting.
having me on. I really appreciate it.
My
And it
pleasure.
was
Thank
good
you.
to actually get to see you now at the end.
Yeah, I just got a new webcam and it doesn't automatically
Oh,
click in. So
okay.
so lesson learned for me.
That's
I'll
okay.
figure it out
We
next time.
figured it out. It's okay now.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, Judy. Everybody, have a wonderful Thursday. And as always, what I hope for you is that you live a life you love without being hungry, feeling deprived, or giving up your glass of wine with dinner, and without needing 26 hours in your day to do it all. So until next
Great.
time, have a great week.
Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much, Dawn. Bye-bye.
Bye.